What's up everyone, Taiki here, and in this video I want to discuss utility versus meme coins, my portfolio construction, and the bullish catalysts that lay ahead. If you like the content, please like and subscribe, and check out the premium Discord, link will be in the description below. I post 3 weekly premium content every single week, so let's get right into it. So one of the biggest argument or topics up for debate right now is, with a Trump victory, what's going to do better, meme coins or utility coins? So far in the past week, it's been meme coins. And I think if you asked me 2 months ago this question, I would have said utility, because I'm a DeFi guy. I've been looking into DeFi stuff, and it's kind of what I wanted. But the thing is, I've started to see the market for what it is, not for something that I want it to be. And Trump winning is bullish everything, everything pumped, and Bitcoin's at like 85K or something. It's crazy. But I'm quite skeptical that, utility will outperform memes. Now, the argument for utility is that the SEC has been really hostile against DeFi coins, and they couldn't turn off a fee switch, or they couldn't turn on a fee switch. And now that he's going to be out, allegedly, all these companies, all these projects, they're going to start to do value accrual for their token. Previously people only bought memes because all these utility coins were worthless, but now that worthless governance tokens can be not so worthless anymore, people are going to sell their memes for utility. I disagree. I disagree. I think 2 months ago I would have said that, but now I disagree. But the thing is, they're not mutually exclusive, right? You can own both, right? You don't have to be all in one or the other. The thing about me is that you've noticed over the years, I've sunk so many hours looking into the fundamentals, cash flow, all that, and I've come to realize that even if they do a fee switch for all these tokens, they're overvalued, or worse, they don't even have any profits to begin with, right? So, yeah, sure, like your, random DeFi token can turn on a fee switch. I hope you're happy because they're making like $10 a year, that's good, right? Probably they're losing money every single year. So I don't really think that's like this bullish catalyst that everyone's hoping for. You're still going to be really selective when it comes to asset selection. You can't just buy a DeFi coin just because it's like a DeFi coin, right? And I don't mean to like attack the VCs, but the last sentence here, VC vaporware under a Trump regime is still VC vaporware, right? Just because Trump won doesn't mean that your VC vaporware is now going to be better than the meme coin, right? Similarly, an unprofitable DeFi token under a Trump regime is still an unprofitable DeFi token. It's not going to pump. It could pump because of the narrative, right? The idea of a future fee switch, the idea that DeFi can't come back, the idea of DeFi renaissance, which I kind of popularized, right? It's ironic that now that I'm like embracing meme coins. Of course, it can pump, but I think enough people, or the people that would buy these tokens, have wisened up to the fact that they're not really like a fee switch doesn't even matter. So I don't necessarily think that it's going to be like a bullish catalyst. And this is what I realized. It's not what I want. It's not about what you want. It's about what the market wants. You have to see the market for what it is. And I think in the past, I've optimized my content and research for like a world that I wanted to see, for a world that you wanted to see probably. But I think I'm coming to the realization that it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Maybe I was insane. I just kept researching DeFi content or DeFi stuff, bought them, right? Caught humble gains, which is like all fine and dandy. But like, was I really expecting like the DeFi tokens to 10x and for meme coins to underperform? Makes no sense. And I'll talk about, just, I think I had this poll result that I wanted to, this one, which this is really interesting actually. So I asked this poll on Twitter, because I've been talking about AI meme coins for like a month now, right? Are people enjoying this, right? Because I've just embraced it, but I didn't really ask for people's opinions, I was like, let me ask. And I thought it was going to be like 80-20. Yes, like, oh yeah, we love DJ Taiki, he's back. But it turns out people don't like it. I was like, wow, like this really surprised me. The thing is, I'm still going to make content, and I'll talk about my portfolio construction, and it's still very DeFi oriented. So it's not that I'm like YOLO 100% net worth into memes. It's just that I'm taking it more seriously. That's the point. And when it comes to my portfolio, I'll show my portfolio. I've adopted this barbell approach, and this is not like a crazy concept, right? It's been thrown around like everywhere, right? But the idea is the majority of your assets should be in safer, larger market cap, things you can sleep at night with. And then you introduce convexity to your portfolio by adding meme coins or something that has like an insane risk reward. And the barbell to optimize for your sleep adjusted returns. I'm not abandoning DeFi. I still own, actually, let me just show my portfolio actually. So it's this as of yesterday. So, I mean, the markets are pumping, so it might be like off by like a few percentage points and whatnot, but roughly 40% in the JLP, 18% Aave staked, right? 20-day unlock period because I'm a masochist, 18% E, 12% Bitcoin, 10% GOAT, and then like some bullshit and then some shitcoins, right? So, I mean, 68% of my assets are in like a very DeFi product. And for those that don't know what JLP is, it's this asset. It's not a honeypot scam. It's literally like it's like a cheat code. It's quite insane. So JLP has a 48% APY coming from platform fees like perps and DEX fees on Jupiter. It's a basket of assets: 44% Solana, Target, 10% ETH, 11% Bitcoin, and then 35% stablecoins. So if the market goes up, then JLP also goes up. If the market goes down, it will also go down a little bit, but all the fees will auto compound back into the asset itself. And that's why it kind of looks like this. You really mitigate your downside. The biggest drawdown it had was like roughly 16% like wick, right? But I mean, like realistically, it was like more of like a 10% dip. And it also acts as the house asset for perps. So if you're trading perps on Jupiter, I mean, I'm not sure why anyone's trading perps on Jupiter because the fees are egregious. You're going to lose money. But since the fees are so egregious, that's why JLP is so good. If traders lose money, then trader losses are going to go into JLP. If traders make money, then their wins come out of JLP. So it might underperform to the upside, but it'll significantly outperform to the downside because when markets go down, the agents get liquidated and then the price of JLP is more stable, let's say. So I made a video on this around March, I think. It's time for me to practice what I preach, right? I mentioned that I'm going to denominate my portfolio into JLP because it's going to do well under any market environment. And it's easy to make money in crypto. It's really hard to keep it. So instead of having a God complex saying, I'm going to sell the top and short the markets, I mean, realistically, no one's doing that. However, if you do take profits into an asset like JLP, I think it's going to be really, really hard for you to just get completely destroyed because this asset is designed to do pretty well. So, I'll link this in the description if you want to see it. But, I always want to show JLP because it's such a chat asset. Of course, there's a risk of like the Thanksgiving turkey where it's amazing until it's not and goes to zero. But I mean, I'm comfortable with the risks personally. And then, still Aave, right? ETH, Bitcoin, Go. I mean, so it's like this barbell of JLP is lower volatility, but still goes up. Bitcoin, ETH up. Aave probably goes up. Go is like my meme coin stuff, right? Along with like other randoms like bullshit. And then like I have like the forest meme coin, right? So it's kind of like this barbell, and I feel pretty good about it, honestly. And going back to this, like it is what it is, right? But I think you have to remember that I've always been a degen. I just forgot my ways over the past 2 years. But the reason my channel got big is because I was aping into 10,000% APR Ponzi's on the Matic blockchain, right? And I taught people how to yield farm. In fact, some people say I'm like the Murad of Ponzi yield farms of like 2021 or 2020, I just became a mid-curve because I had so much PTSD. So nothing about me has changed, I just make content that I want to make content about. And I like AI memes, I love the goatsy, I love the goatsy gospel. It speaks to me and I'm going to embrace it. And I've been embracing it. And the crazy, by the way, like this meta is crazy. I woke up this morning and I was in disbelief. I was in like, I just sat down, I was just sipping coffee and like my jaws were like, my mouth was open. I was like, what is going on? Like Binance, they listed ACT, and Peanut the squirrel. I mean, Peanut, we all know. ACT, okay, so ACT is not a scam. So the lore is that the original developer for ACT was really poor and he wanted to work on like this AI project, but he didn't have money. So he posted like on some fundraising forum, hey, can people fund my life expenses and whatnot? Mark Andreessen from A16Z gave this guy money, and then he was like working on this. Someone deployed some coin and then gave the developer like 5% of the supply or something. The developer, just like sold everything for like $1 million, cashed out, and then everyone thought it was dead. I thought it was dead, because I'm in the trenches. Like I know almost every single story and like lore for all these coins. And then they just listed it, and skipping this, right? It's like bam, $500 million market cap. It was like a 15 million market cap to $500 million overnight, like a 35x or like whatever the fuck that is, right? Like if you think this God candle, like look at this, like that is the definition of a green dildo. That's like a 14-inch green dildo, like low in supply, hard to find. We found it here. It's gonna bring in more attention for the AI memes. It just has to. In my opinion, I'm really bullish. And people think this is a criminal by Binance, right? It's like, oh, insiders. I mean, by the way, I have no idea, right? I've like some people I talk to in Binance, I don't think they're unethical. I don't think they're like like filling bags and like listing it. But I mean, there's no way for me to confirm. But Binance Research themselves have said that there's 155 billions of altcoin unlocks. They understand that like listing these assets probably not worth it, right? I mean, even Scroll is like going to zero, and the co-founder of Binance was like, hey, like we didn't take a listing fee, we're pro community, right? It's like, haha, Binance understands that VC coins are a problem. They're going to continue to list meme coins because Binance needs the crypto community to make money. If they only list VC coins and it goes down only, people lose money and then they can't trade. And if they can't trade, Binance makes no fees. So Binance needs people to make money. So they're incentivized. And she literally made a forum post about this on Binance.com. We're going to start listing meme coins that's not Cabal, right? That's not Cabal. If it's not Cabal, if it's organic, and if it's not a complete scam, they're going to start listing it. They said it. And AI memes, I mean, the AI meme coin meta has been around for a month, let's say, right? GOAT has been around for like roughly a month. GOAT is like the first, I think I had this here, right? Yeah, GOAT is like the first pump fund token that hit $1 billion, or almost. It hit like 975 or something. It probably will be the first, maybe not, right? But probably, it basically got there. Second, ACT, like the listing likely means that people have to start pricing in future listings, right? Binance wants to list meme coins. AI meme coins fits the current zeitgeist. And like they literally listed ACT like 3 weeks in or 3.5 weeks in to the token going live, right? So I think any older AI meme coin that's been around for, let's say, over 3 weeks, I think they have a pretty good shot at getting a listing at a future date. I have no idea, right? I mean, I'm not part of like these team meetings and whatnot. But ACT isn't even like a super legit coin, right? I mean, it's like the guy just sold, like the dev sold his coins, and then like the token does nothing aside from like being associated with like this story. And it's like a $500 million market cap. Like, of course, people are going to speculate on like the smaller ones, right? The AI and meme intersection is going to get more eyeballs. There's going to be more stories like this guy. He's like, what the fuck? Like, I had 100K in this thing. It's like it's probably like worth 2 million at this point. I can't believe it. I had conviction and held. Oh my God. Right? It allows people to dream bigger. Stop trading and believe in something by, our main character, Murad. That's literally how I feel about these AI cold coins, and as I own GOAT, I own Forest. I'm looking for more, honestly. I only own 2 right now. I'll talk about other meme coin sectors that I'm looking into, but, I just think that the cat's out of the bag, This is like the first meme coin meta that's activated so much idle mid-curve capital. Example A right here, right? I also talked to a lot of fund managers. They're buying memes. It's funny because for their fund, like the professional fund that they work for, they're like just like buying like mid-curve shit, right? And then with their personal portfolios, they're buying AI memes. That's the trend that I've noticed, and I just think that it's gonna keep doing well. Which coins, I have no idea. I honestly have no idea. I'm still a mid-curve at heart. I'm trying to get out of the mid-curve, but the thing is, I'm gonna continue buying mid-curve coins. Hopefully, I eventually have some success, but it's just what it is. So I don't want you to get cabaled, right? Because there's so many. The thing is, if a meme coin is new, like an AI meme coin is newer, let's say like under a week old, it's very likely that it's a scam. If something is 3 or 4 weeks old, it's more likely to be more legit, right? Because chances are there's gonna be opportunistic devs and KOLs that will launch tokens like today or something, right? Saying, oh, this tech is amazing, And the thing is, like, no one understands what the tech is, right? It's all mumbo jumbo. It's like, oh, this AI is so much, it's like so good, it's sentient, it's amazing, right? But like you have to figure out how to do some on-chain analysis, and I think a good tool is bubble maps. So I'm not being paid by them or anything, right? I don't do any paid stuff, but I do think it's a good tool. So I do want to show you how to use it. So I'll do 2 examples. One GOAT, and then the second is going to be a Cabal coin. And the founder of Bubble Maps, he told me that if you ever see a cluster of wallets that's like 10% supply, watch out. And if it's 20%, get out. Okay, so that's like his internal motto. So what Bubble Maps show you is, it's like the top 150 wallets are indicated by each bubble, and it shows you whether they're connected. So if you look at the Solana filter, then these wallets have transferred Solana to each other. So for example, this one, there's 2 wallets comprised of 1.4% of the supply. So, it's probably the single entity, so that's kind of how it works. But the best tool is if you click at all, it kind of shows you, USDC, USDT, and GOAT transfers. So obviously this looks kind of bad, but what you can do is you can click on the middle one here, right? Go to the Sol Scan. And usually if it's really connected like this, it's going to be like a Radium wallet. So I'm waiting for this to load here, verifying that I'm a human. This is a Radium pool. Okay, so obviously people are interacting with it because, it's a Radium pool. So you can kind of click the eyeball and then it kind of goes away. And then you kind of have these clusters, and then you're like, okay, like what is this one, right? 5% cluster. That's kind of dangerous. Click on this. Oh, this is another Radium pool. Okay, this is probably, it's fine, And then you click the eyeball, you hide it, and then this probably is a better filter. Like I said, you don't know how these people are, and you should also be aware that as more scammers know that people, or as bubble maps get more adoption, people will try to hide their wallets. So they can disperse tokens like 5,000 wallets, and as long as they're not in the top 150, then it's not gonna show up, right? But this is pretty fair, right? So the biggest cluster I think is this. It's like 2.9%, which is like totally fine. People buy VC coins, and it's like 50% of the supply is the insiders. So it is scary, but at least it's more transparent, let's say. And some wallets like Wintermute, I think if you click on Wintermute, it's this one. Okay, so like this is not like a whale, or it's like a market maker. So this seems fine. It's okay. Yeah, not perfect, obviously, but it is what it is. An example of a Cabal. So I chose the most egregious one, which is like 3AC, so 3 arrows capital. So obviously, you filter for all, and it looks like this. Like what the fuck, right? So if obviously, this is the super egregious. Most tokens are gonna be better at hiding it, right? There's like this, there's this rocking. But the thing is, if you see a cluster, just be careful. Sometimes you will see clusters, but it's gonna be for like a community treasury or like people donating coins to like a developer. Like those are fine, of course, right? People are just donating or like whatnot, right? So you have to you have to use like your brain to figure out like whether something's good or not. But just use bubble maps. It's free. I'm not being paid by them. I just think it's a good tool. Just something to be aware of, because Binance said they're not going to list Cabal coins. So if people are shilling like random tickers and there's like a big cluster, then chances are probably not good. Probably not going to be listed. I would opt for the older coins. That's what I'm looking into. I'm still looking into it. I'm really bullish this entire sector. It's produced some insane gains in under a month, and that's going to bring more attention within the crypto natives. And it's also like the highest likelihood of getting media virality and also activating idle outside capital from like crypto, right? It's like AI capital, mid-curve capital, idle, like whatever, right? And look, I'm not sure how to read into this data, but the fact that people people did this probably just means that, people are still anti-Memecoin, which is understandable. I'm just saying that from a market participant's perspective, I have to have a serious strategy around meme coins, and I've just embraced meme coins, like the AI memes first. So another catalyst for AI memes, which I want to talk about, is the Jupiter airdrop catalyst. So Jupiter, every year they're going to airdrop 10% of the supply to Jupiter stakers, users, and probably JLP holders, which is also like the reason I like JLP. January 31st, 2025 is going to be the next one. I think the criteria is not announced yet, but you can kind of imagine it'll be people that use the platform. It's a $12 billion application technically. So it's technically like a $1.2 billion airdrop. Of course, if everyone wanted to sell and there's like no buyers, then the price will like plummet to zero. So, for people to realize $1 billion of, I guess, like income, there has to be like some capital on the other side, taking that in. And that might come from people selling other coins. So it's not like a zero, it's not like an infinite money, right? It's not like an infinite money glitch, but I do think it's going to be a good catalyst because who's going to get the airdrop? It's going to be the degens in the trenches. Imagine like a degen that's put like $3 million worth of volume, got wrecked, right? Lost all his money. He gets like a 25K airdrop from Jupiter. Do you think he's going to just hold it as Jupiter and just, not do anything? Is he going to, go swap it for USDC and put it in Camino Finance? No, I mean, he's probably going to just buy more meme coins, honestly, right? It's like the house money effect. You get free money. It feels like free money. Like, fuck it, gamble. Gamba. The last Jupiter airdrop benefited, I think Dogwave had the most. It like 10x basically, or 15x, I think, or 20x. So I would expect whatever hot narrative, like AI narrative, or sorry, meme coin narrative is around Solana, around the airdrop date. I think that's going to have the most amount of incremental inflows. Because honestly, right? I mean, assuming that AI memes are still hot in like February and I get like an airdrop, I'm going to buy AI memes, honestly, right? I'm like, fuck it, right? I'm just going to go in. So just be something to be aware of. PVE on Solana. Another PVE ecosystem that I don't think people are considering is the Base ecosystem. So Coinbase is years behind Binance when it comes to listing their ecosystem shitcoins. Coinbase has had to worry about US regulations, SEC and whatnot. They've been pretty tame. But if you look at Binance, right, like they've listed hundreds of just Binance Smart Chain shitcoins, right? And it pumped. It's crazy. And I don't think Coinbase is going to go like that crazy, but you should expect a catch up probably next year. And there's clear incentives for them to do so. If Coinbase pumps Base native applications, so not like applications that's on all the L2s, but they're going to be incentivized to support Base only applications. For example, Airdrop. They listed Airdrop, it pumped. Actually, funny thing they did is they bought Airdrop, then they listed it and it pumped. So they're pumping their bags, and because they pump their bags, they can use their VE Aero incentives to, distribute incentives for the entire ecosystem. Smart move, Coinbase, your DeFi team, definitely good. So, even Brian Armstrong tweeted, this image of having the dog in him, like I had the dog in me, and like they're fucking, this shitcoin went up like 4x or something, right? So the thing you have to price in is that the amount of fucks given by Brian Armstrong and Coinbase is gonna approach zero, right? It's not gonna be complete zero, right? They can't like get sued or something, but maybe 3 months ago it was at like a 9 or 8, right? They had to give a lot of fucks, but now we're in the we're going from 9, maybe we're like at a 7, right? Like this is a clear 7, right? Like Brian Armstrong, like less fucks given. Next year, maybe it'll be at a 4. Maybe by Q3 of next year, it'll be at a 2, right? You have to price these things in, right? They're going to give less fucks. I think it makes sense to look for Base native ecosystem projects that aren't complete scams. And maybe, you can buy a basket and succeed. The problem with Base native DeFi is that they're not that great. So I think it's just gonna be meme coins, unfortunately. But I don't even like the meme coins on Base. But if you're like a profit maxi, perhaps it just makes sense to pay more attention, because if Base lists, or if Coinbase lists like DeFi projects on Base, then first of all, I mean, it brings more attention to the ecosystem, and it also attracts more developers in the future, right? Because they're signaling to the developer community that if you build a Base native app and you drop a token and you're not a scammer, we might pump your bags. That's a big enough incentive, right? If I was a dev, like, fuck it, right? Like, why am I building on like Arbitrum? Like, fuck it, Base, hey, you drop a token, boom, hallelujah, right? It's pretty simple, right? Just, you don't need to overthink it. Last thing, hyperliquid ecosystem. So I don't know when the airdrop is, but the last time to claim is the 11th. So I think it'll happen sometime this month, maybe, hopefully. And I think, okay, so first of all, this is like they're the biggest meme coin. You can see my sell button here, right? I think I sold at like 8 cents, complete mid curve, right? I did not believe enough. I think the cult around hyper community is very strong. And if there's anything Murat taught us, it's all about the community. You have to build a strong community and then the token will do well. And I sense such a strong community within the hyperliquid ecosystem. I kind of faded it, you know. I bought some meme coins recently. It like just like went vertical. I'm like, wow, like this is crazy. I don't own any right now because I sold, but definitely pay attention. I think there's going to be some that like just hit a billion, probably. Maybe it's per. I own 0 per, by the way, but just pay attention to hyperliquid. The community is insane. It's pretty crazy. And the reason I like the hyperliquid memes is that there's not going to be that much inflation. So, you know, to get your token on hyperliquid, like the spot DEX exchange, you have to compete in an auction. So let's say, you know, I wanted to drop the mid-curve token on hyperliquid, like Memecoin, right? Like, you know, make fun of Taiki or something. I can't just deploy it. I have to compete in an auction. And I have to basically be the highest bidder. And this auction happens every 31 hours. So there can only be 282 tickers per year maximum. And the fees, like the auction fees, go to the validators, I think. And, you know, if you go to hyperscan.io, you see that right now the current auction is at 16,000. So you have to pay that much to, you know, get listed essentially. And then the last auction was 18K, then 18K, then 13K, 15K. So, you know, it's going to significantly increase the average quality of each coin. Like you're not going to be paying 20K to get a token listed, right? Just for the hell of it, right? There's probably like these people are going to try, right? They understand that the hyperliquid cult is insane. They understand that the upside to create a successful meme is very high, and they're going to work their asses off, right? So, like I said, I have no idea which one is good. I own 0 hyperliquid meme coins right now, but I definitely need to pick one up. It's probably going to be per because it's the first, but I'm a degen, right? I'm looking for the microcap stuff. So, and also like, the other reason I sold is because there's a lot of uncertainty. They might sell their memes, right? If it pumps into the TGE, then they might sell their memes to buy the hyperliquid token, or maybe they'll sell the hyperliquid token to buy the meme. I think that's unlikely because I think I think there's gonna be like net buyers of like hype when it comes out. Either way, my eyes are on the ecosystem. So yeah, basically, you know, you saw my portfolio. I have 2 Solana AI memes. I need like a base meme probably. I probably need to find like a hyperliquid meme. That brings me to 4. I want to keep it below 5. I don't want to spread myself out too thin. But you know, that's what I'm looking into. You know, I'm barbelled right now. You know, feeling comfy. The majors, it's pumping, right? I mean, it's crazy. And also, look at this. You know, Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, green. There's a lot of red coins out there. You know, and the memes are going crazy. So, like I said, you know, it's not mutually exclusive. You can buy memes and utility coins. I just don't buy the argument that you know, meme coins are going to go to 0. I'm quite skeptical. If you can find the coins that will benefit from better regulation, then yeah, sure, right? But I just don't think that DeFi coins will pump just because they're DeFi. You know, I just don't think that high FTV coins will pump because Trump won. You know, fundamentals still matter. The narrative still matters. And unfortunately, because the valuations are so high, I think a lot of the crazy gains are going to be in the meme coin ecosystem. I have no idea which ones, honestly, right? I talked about some meme coins, but like, really, are you going to take advice from me? Come on. You know, I was like buying Uniswap for Christ's sakes. Funny story about Uniswap. You know, I have to take some L's here. I missed out on this pump because, you know, I said that I would sell, right? I said, hey, like, if this pump retraces, I'm gonna sell. So I basically sold like here. I still made like a little bit of money, but obviously I missed out this pump and I was kind of feeling bad. But you know, I bought like other coins that's also up, right? And like whatnot. So I mean, not perfect, right? I'm still mid curve. I mid curved my mid curve bags, but you know, Like these bigger DeFi coins excite me less. I still own Aave though. I still like Aave. So for the people that wants me to go back to DeFi, I love my Aave. I love my JOP. Ooh. I love it. You love it too, right? You love it too. All right. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys probably later this week. I'm recording podcasts with Wayne Garian, Chow Wang, and Murad all this week. It's going to be bangers. All right. Anyways, bye-bye.